Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and our dear customers. Here is an overview of a ship implementation plan, which is a requirement under the new regulations coming into force from 1/1/2020. This ship implementation plan needs a careful study and a planning covering all the features and ensuring that nothing is left out which will cause problems with the authorities who will be checking for the implementation of the plan. Viswa Lab is uniquely qualified and experienced in helping you to implement this plan. Not only that, we are also the specialists in providing solutions if you should be encountering any problems. I will quickly start with a presentation on this, just a few slides, and explain the features of the ship implementation plan. The plan consists of 4 parts. One is risk assessment and mitigation plan. Second, fuel systems modification and tank cleaning. Third, development of ship-specific documentation and report package. And fourth and last will be the development of fuel changeover plan. I will quickly run through the features of each of these 4 sections. They will also be showing up on the screen for you to read it. And let's first take the risk assessment and mitigation plan. This has got about 4 subsections. 1. Review the fuel transfer, filtration, delivery systems and equipment. Under this section, you've got to look at bunker storage tanks, deep tanks, double bottom tanks, settling tanks, service tanks, capacity of each of the tank, what they normally carry, etc. Procedures and methods for ensuring segregation of different types of fuels from different bunkering sources. The second part is a review of current fuel oil bunker tanker arrangement and fuel bunkering plans. Under this section, we should know transfer pump capacity, maximum viscosity handled, unpumpable quantities in each tank, how do the purifier, clarifiers work, their capacities, their connections, then fuel system diagrams showing all relevant equipment such as filters, pumps, drains, etc. and draining arranged from each tank such as service tank, which may go to overflow tank or a spare oil tank, and there may be facilities to use a dump valve. In addition to all the above, a simple tank layout diagram in elevation and plan showing tank positions and capacity if tank heating is provided. Now, the last part of this section is impact of 2020 fuels and its potential hazards. Detailed instructions on interpretation of stability and compatibility tests. This is quite involved, particularly with the proposed VLSFO fuels. And what are VLSFO fuels? They will be introduced, and the potential problems in storage, usage on the machinery system will be covered. How to mitigate potential problem through planning and execution of detailed procedures and practices. Then educating and training ship staff and operators on all potential problems, providing detailed instructions in writing or electronically so that the procedures are implemented flawlessly. Current bunkering procedure, bunkering plans, sampling procedures, sampling points, and who is responsible for what in bunkering. And also, to close this, you should have the sounding pipe locations and location of bottom drains for each tank. The next section is about fuel system modifications and how to carry out tank cleaning. Now here there are again 3 subsections. Identify the likely affected sections of main engine, auxiliaries, pumps and boiler plants. Then to study and recommend any modifications to be carried out on the existing system. And thirdly, identify areas of preparedness with reference to engines, auxiliaries and boiler plants, and also an action plan for addressing contingencies. Under this section, we will be covering filtration, tank heating, identifying best sampling points, purifier, clarifier, attached heaters, filters, etc. Then storage tanks, how do they handle fuel transfers? Then fuel treatment, which consists of filters, centrifuges, then viscosity adjustments, and particularly with reference to the VLSFO fuels. Then this section will also cover the fuel. If the fuel is not compatible with the fuel on board, what do you do? So then the fuel received has to be blended with the fuel on board. What do you do then? If the fuel received is choking up filters and purifiers, what do you do then? Of course, we have the FBTN instrument, which is filter blocking tendency number, with which we can carry out in advance if there is a choking of filters is going to take place on the ship even before you have started using the fuel. The fuel received has substantial commercial value, but the cold flow properties, ignition and combustion problems, all these have to be addressed. Lastly, if there is no fuel available, then how to file for a FONAR document, which stands for Fuel Oil Non-Availability Report. Now, we go to the next section, which is the third section, development of ship-specific documentation and report package. Our assistance will be ship-specific because ship implementation plan is not a common document. It has to be tailored to what is existing on each of the ships. Even in sister ships, we have seen there are many items which will not be identical, and therefore every ship has to be treated independently. And inspection should be carried out and an implementation plan should be prepared. Then we should have a fuel specification document fully laminated and fitted in appropriate points in the engine room, purifier, ship staff, notice board, etc. The fuels should include all fuels likely to be used by the vessel. Some of them may be 0.1% sulfur, some VLSFOs which are 0.5, and it may also be high sulfur fuel which will be 3 or up to 3.5% sulfur. Another table should be prepared for various lubricating oils used by vessels, machinery and equipment. This table will instruct what cylinder lube oil is to be used in connection with the sulfur content of the fuel bunkered. Easily the most important thing, because we should not make a mistake of using the wrong cylinder lube oil for the wrong fuel. Then all the documents so prepared will be available electronically so that vessel can make fresh additional copies as needed. Crew training and crew understanding of 2020 fuels is very important. Simple documentation with pictures will be circulated to crew members. In addition, periodic tests, refresher courses should be held, and a video presentation can be provided. The documentation needed for implementation will be available also as a paper copy for ready reference with all the involved personnel. The last part is the development of fuel changeover plan, which is a comprehensive documentation on fuel changeover procedures. This document should include sketches, diagrams showing filters, valves, pumps, heaters and their locations. Provide a clear logic diagrams showing the changeover procedure so that the ship staff will know exactly what to do in a foolproof manner. All the equipment listed above should be inspected and routine maintenance should be carried out at fixed intervals. Checklists must be provided so that all items of equipment are checked for trouble-free performance before the fuel changeover is effected. Finally, the procedure should ensure that the fuel system will be fully ready to receive new fuels as per regulations. Now, this brings to the end the ship implementation plan services that Viswa can provide to you, and this will be, as I mentioned earlier, ship specific. This will have a lot of very careful documentation following visits to the ship and gathering full information on the vessel, the equipment on the ship, and the kind of fuels the vessel is likely to be using. We hope with this service you will not have any problems come 1/1/2020. We wish you all the best with your new fuels, and we are standing by available to you if you should wish to engage our services in providing the ship implementation plan. Thank you. Have a nice day.